Good evening and welcome in to the Wise Sports Show. To the left of your screen is Pops and I am QMP. We are your favorite father-son duo talking sports. And in today's show, we're going to talk about the Eagles Cowboys. We're going to get into some NFL news and notes. We're going to also talk about the Cowboys' upcoming game against the Chiefs. And then we're going to have a bit of college ball talk. And then we're going to have our question of the day. You ready to talk to the people, Pops?
I'm ready to go. And I want to also say right now that I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Appreciate that, Pops. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everybody. Pretty sure there are those of you that are out there cooking right now, getting ready for tomorrow. So yeah, wishing y'all a happy Thanksgiving Eve and you know, Lord willing, happy Thanksgiving as well. Hey, y'all don't forget to be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you're loving the content, we would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into it, Pops. So first up, we got Eagles Cowboys. Let's get into the clip.
Hurts throwing end zone. A.J. Brown, touchdown, Eagles. Hurts, designer on, up the middle he goes. Jalen Hurts still going. He's got stopped a few times last week versus the Lions. Here they're on the half-yard line. Hurts, shove forward. He's in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Prescott. Looking, rolling traffic, it's intercepted. Reed Blanket. Prescott looking to throw, corner, touchdown, Pickens. Prescott thinking about running. Is he going to get there? Gets a block. Prescott flies in. Touchdown. Aubrey up, and he's got it! The Cowboys win!
As y'all saw, it was a Cowboys victory, and I got to give you credit, Pops. You came the closest when we had our score predictions. Now, you said 27-24, but you came very, very close to that outcome of the game as far as the score was concerned. But then you got it right with Brandon Aubrey hitting the game-winning field goal. So well done, Pops. Well done. So we gonna get into a few things regarding this game. So, you know, first and foremost, the Cowboys outgained the Eagles by 127 yards. So they outgained them 479 to 352. And as you can see in the highlights, it didn't start off very, very well for the Cowboys at all. And realistic Cowboys fans thought, hey, it's a done deal. Going up against the Eagles and playing that type of a team, we thought it was a done deal for sure. But there were some key plays in that game, and I will say the resolve that the Cowboys showed, it 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 was impressive to see. It truly was. And of course, you got Dak that played really well, quietly had 354 yards passing, and then you also had the defense that turned it up in the second half. I got to say, you know, Quentin Williams. I got in my notes Quentin Williams in all caps, just because of the fact that he's made such an impact, and he's only been on the team 2 games, but you can just see its impact immediately on the team and how they were able to feed off of him. From what I understand, and from what I'm hearing, that speech at halftime, the reason why they were so fired up and the reason they came out the way they did is because of Quentin Williams and showing leadership skills, getting them fired up to get it done. And as we can see, the Eagles didn't score any more points. After that 21, it was 24 unanswered points by the Cowboys. Got a comment from Brandon. Appreciate you tuning in, my guy. Good win for the Cowboys, but man, I wish they would come out more aggressive. They can't keep starting slow. I completely agree, and I'm going to get into that. And I know Pops will as well. But yes, I completely agree. They could not start off that slow, and they've done that 2 games in a row. Where they've started off slowly or they've made mistakes. To start the game. In this game, it was they went for it on fourth down, turnover and downs. Then they drove down the field, Dak threw an interception. In the red zone. So, there are definitely some ways that the Cowboys can improve for sure. They got to start a lot faster. And appreciate your comment, Renee. But a win is a win. That is correct. A win is a win for sure. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure though we are starting off fast because when you're going up against good teams, we're going up against another good one in the Chiefs, we'll talk about later. We want to make sure that we start off fast. So, Pops, tell me why you think we won the game.
Well, first of all, I'll start out with the fact that in the first half, or even the first quarter, the way the team was playing, a lot of people told me they turned their sets off. They even turned into the cooking channel. And they also said that they were so upset with everything they couldn't actually have. Well, actually, I can't even say a lot of words that they probably said because we were behind out 21-11 before we ever knew it. And I always thought Dallas, knowing that they had that win before this game with the Las Vegas Raiders, they were going to be ready. They did a lot of talking and all of that. But like I said, when they came out and got behind 21-0, I felt like they had to have a good halftime talk because believe me, a lot of people that went outdoors and started cutting the yard. But as we found out, that good halftime talk brought them back in, and that's how we got the win.
Now, I want to get into one of the plays, one of the exceptional plays that was made that was part of this epic comeback. Now, I will say, when it came down to this play, while they didn't score, getting this particular turnover off of this play, it was still a huge play in the game. So let's play that clip.
Prescott has some time, loading up, going deep, Pickens. He's got it! Oh, come on! What a catch! What a
Now, in that clip there, you saw our player of the game, which is George Pickens. But I want y'all to see one other play where this special teamer was doing this thing. He showed that you truly cannot give up at all when it comes down to making plays and making sure that you give it your best effort. So let's take a look at this one, y'all. It is a great effort here.
This all these years, I've tried to get. Look at that hustle. Who wants to be a gunner in the NFL? Not me. But Clark, relentless effort, just great hustle, and then causing a massive turnover there. Great team effort. What a hit by Clark.
Clark and Bell in there. Gibson is still down on the ground for Philadelphia.
What an outstanding play by Elijah Clark. And we got another comment from Brandon. Usually when the Cowboys are down by 3 touchdowns, it's a L. But this is more about the Eagles being exposed. I agree. I agree with that. Now, the Eagles have been begging for a loss for sure because they've had a lot of close games. And as you said, Cowboys get down 3 scores. We're thinking, and as Pops just said, here a lot of people was telling them that they turned their sets off, they went and did other things because they just chalked it up to a loss. But I truly think there is something different about this team. It starts with the moves that they made. We knew the offense was good for sure. That was the one constant that we had. But then this defense is showing some things. It really is because again, going up against an Eagles team, if you would have said before this game that Eagles were up 21-0, you would have thought the Cowboys would have lost for sure. For sure. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're talking about either last year's Cowboys team, before then, whatever. You would have thought, oh, they lost. They lost the game. No one would have thought they would have come back from 21 down to make this epic comeback. And I'll say this is actually tied for the largest comeback in team history for the Cowboys coming back from 21 down. So very, very impressive win to come back from 21 down to get the job done. I'll point out a few other things that happened during the game that we can definitely improve upon. So, one of the things that happened in the game was there was a roughing the punter penalty called that was actually called an error as the punt was actually partially blocked, but it wasn't challenged by the coaching staff. And there was a lot of talk from the head of officials about what could have been done and camera angles that weren't seen or things of that nature. But that again, you see things like that, you think that the Cowboys are gonna lose a game for sure. You also had multiple drops by CeeDee Lamb, and he's come out and said that he's got to catch the bleeping ball. Well, we'll see. You got another opportunity coming up tomorrow, brother. We're gonna see if you get it done. Because right now, and as I mentioned earlier, George Pickens was our player of the game. This guy had 9 catches off of 9 targets. So that means he didn't drop a pass, and he had 146 yards receiving. I mean, this guy right now, he is currently with 11 games in, 67 receptions, and 1,054 yards receiving, and 8 touchdowns. And he's clearly showing that he's the best receiver on this team right now. If he's at least the best receiver on this team, if not best receiver in the league, in George Pickens. And he's making CeeDee Lamb look pretty bad. CeeDee Lamb has to come on with it. Because I mean, honestly, if we're looking at this thoroughly, realistically, Cowboys should have been up for sure in the second half if CD would have caught some of these passes. That's the thing that he has to focus on getting done is catching the ball and making sure that he performs as he's supposed to, as he's getting paid to do. You know what I mean? So he definitely needs to step it up for sure. Also, there were no points off of the turnovers we got from the Eagles. So that's something else that we can improve upon. And as I said, the one interception by Dak Prescott in the red zone, it's not good. We had 2 red zone trips with no points, and that was a Dak interception, and then we had the turnover on downs. Brandon, appreciate the comment. CD got to focus and leave them Old Spice commercials alone. I mean, real talk, he's got to focus. Again, he's mentioned, that he's got to catch the bleeping ball. We'll see. We'll see. Again, you got your opportunity against the Chiefs. We'll see if you can get it done. Bottom line. So, again, the Cowboys left a lot on the field as well. But again, all of that being said, they were able to pull out the victory, which again, many people did not believe. I was one of them as well that did not believe we could get that done. Now, I was tempted to turn off my TV screen as well, but I stuck with it and watched it all the way through. And glad I did. And I bet there were some folks at the game that were sad that because I'm pretty sure a lot of people left. They were up 21. The Eagles were up 21. They left, which they wouldn't have left at all, and would have been able to, watch that epic comeback had they not left. But anyway, again, a good win by the Cowboys. Very impressive to see how they were able to show resolve and get it done when it was all said and done. Comment from Renee, a good turnaround. Absolutely. I completely agree. So again, y'all, our player of the game was George Pickens playing outstanding ball. I mean, the guy just looked like he's just doing everything effortlessly out there right now. Him and Dak are in sync, and it's just awesome to watch. And the hope is that CeeDee Lamb gets into it and is able to eat as well, catching the ball, getting the job done. Because it's going to take him to catch the ball to make plays as well if we're really going to do something seriously. Now, it's being shown obviously we can get it done without him, but we need him to be able to make those plays for sure. Another comment from Brandon, GP goes up and gets it like Terry Glenn. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as you saw in that clip earlier, that was a heck of a catch. That was almost it was definitely double coverage. It was almost triple coverage that he made that catch. And Dak knows that all he has to do is throw it up in the vicinity, and he's gonna trust it. He's trusting this guy to get it to come down with it, just like Tony Romo used to trust Dak. I mean, trust Des Bryant to come down with it as well. But he would throw up those 50-50 balls to him. So that's enough about the Cowboys Eagles game. We're gonna get off that. But we're glad that they won the game for sure. But on to the next. So we got a bit of NFL news and notes. So we're gonna next talk about the Colts and the Chiefs. The Colts and the Chiefs. So before the season started, no one would have said that this was a must-win game for the Kansas City Chiefs against the Colts. Really? A must-win game? But it was, and they came out with the victory. Mahomes magic got it done. And he showed a lot. He showed that he ain't going nowhere. Our flick chick, this I don't want to talk about. But yeah, listen, I mean, Mahomes did his thing. He led up to a victory. And again, that was impressive to see. It was impressive to see. So very, very good game to watch. And again, no one would have guessed that this was a must win for the Chiefs at all. But it also Terry Powell, appreciate you chiming in. Hey, appreciate you tuning in and watching, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, as I said, the Colts are showing some bad signs as well. So, we'll see how things go. But who knows? They could wind up losing this division. They got a few more division games coming up. So we'll see how it goes. But Chiefs pulled this victory out against the Colts in epic fashion. Only Mahomes can do. Pops, I'm gonna let you talk about the Coach Chiefs for a bit. Just let me know what you think about it.
Well, I wanted to throw in one little tidbit. I know we kind of like through talking about the Cowboys, but I want to go out on a limb and say that this will be one of the better games that CeeDee Lamb will have up and coming. So I'm gonna leave that right there. Like I talked about how the Cowboys would win with the last second field goal. So let's just see what happens with that. But anyway, going back to the Chiefs. Well, actually, I think the Chiefs, should I say they've been found out, or people don't fear them anymore, or they know how to actually handle them now. And I may think it's a little dissension between those guys. So if you looked on the sideline, you may saw them kind of looking with mad faces or whatever, and kind of mumbling and grumbling or whatever. And so Mahomes did kind of like pull them together, and they eventually won the game that they should have won in a sense. But I feel like that the game that they played was kind of like they're still kind of in the lost territory, but like you said, by being that far behind in the lead of the division. And so I think that this game here will tell us a lot more about them, and it also will tell us a lot more about the Cowboys. And I believe that Mahomes, if we do it right, well, then we possibly can come out with a victory on that.
All right. And Pops, you're getting some love about your background. Said Pops, we love your background. So well done on that.
Oh,
Well
okay.
done on that.
Okay. Well, thank whoever. I appreciate that. Okay.
Then we got a comment from Brandon. The Chiefs stopped the run. You neutralized Taylor. Then you put it in. You put it on Daniel Jones. That's true because we know that's how it was when he was with the Giants as well. He had that running game to fall back on, and sure enough, that's how he was able to play a lot better. So it looks like that's the same thing going on with the Colts. You stop Jonathan Taylor, you ultimately stop Daniel Jones because you're putting the game in his hands, telling him, hey, you got to beat us. And as it's been shown against the Chiefs as well as the Steelers, because they lost against them as well, it's clearly showing that, when teams are put directly in Daniel Jones' hands to get it done, hey, saying, hey, you beat us. He's not been able to get it done. So again, and it goes back to our discussion about, when we were discussing who was the best QB in the NFL, the AFC South, and while you or I both could not say Daniel Jones is not the best we could not say he was the best QB in that division, and he's showing us why we felt that way. Bottom line. So until he shows us otherwise, because typically if you're a good to great quarterback, if the game is if you're called upon to drive the team down the field. If you're called upon to win the game for the team, you're going to come through more times than not. As we just talked about Patrick Mahomes. He's top 5 in the league for sure, quarterback wise, and he was able to go. The team leans on him. He was able to get it done, no problem. But Daniel Jones still showing us that he can't do that. So good win for the Chiefs. We'll see what they do against us. So next game we're going to talk about is Giants Lions. Giants Lions. This was another game that came down to the wire, and who would have thought that this game would have come down to that for sure. Another comment from Brandon, Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins. I mean, I would even mention to say that Kirk Cousins is better than Daniel Jones, though, for sure. Just comparing the two. And we got a comment from Horror Flick Chick. Pops, who do you think is the Chiefs' best QB?
Is that a trick question? The only one I know is Patrick Mahomes, and when you have the Super Bowl wins and all of that he's had, and the AFC Championship games and all of that, and divisional wins, it had to be Patrick Mahomes, P.T. Holmes.
There you go. Yeah, getting back to the Giants Lions again. As the games has progressed, no one would have thought that the Lions would have a close game against the Giants for sure. But it came down to the wire. The Lions were able to pull it out. Yeah, Horror Flick Chick is saying Ellen Mayo trick question. So yeah, try to get you with that. But yeah, as I said, Giants Lions. It was surprising that it did come down to the wire. It is showing the weakness of the Lions' offensive line for sure. They are struggling as Jared Goff did not have that much time to throw, and it also shows the dominance of the Giants' D line. They have a great defensive line as well, so I will say that. Now, the Lions again, the Lions did pull this game out, and got a comment from Brandon. The Lions don't look right. How they almost lose to Picky Smalls. Yo, you and these comments, man. I love them though. I love them. But listen, you know, I think it was more so the defensive line of the Giants helped them to stay into the game as well. And the Lions defense isn't looking all that great. They got a ton of injuries, across their secondary, so it's not looking too great for them. But as I was going to get to today, a bit of breaking news. Uh, Frank Ragnow, who was recently retired center for the Lions, has come out of retirement and will play for the Lions. Now, I don't think he'll be playing tomorrow. I'd be shocked if he plays tomorrow, but apparently he's been staying in shape, uh, and he's come out of retirement to assist the Lions with their offensive line woes. So, we'll see how that turns out. And then also from this game, Shane Bowen, who was now formerly defensive coordinator of the Giants, he was relieved of his duties after this game because of not just this epic fail, but previous games that they've lost leads and the defense didn't step up and get the job done. So a few things from that game that turned out to be, again, some negatives for the Giants, which is not a bad thing for us as Cowboys fans, Pop. But yeah, Shane Bowen is out as the defensive coordinator of the Giants, and it's funny because typically you don't see moves like that when your head coach has already been fired and the interim coach fires the defensive coordinator. That's rarely seen, but it happened. So Shane Bowen is no longer the defense coordinator of the Giants. And we're going to move on to a couple other things that happened in the NFL. So Jackson Smith and Jigba, the star receiver for the Seahawks. Let's take a look at this clip for this guy, former Hawk.
Darnold with time going up top for Jackson Smith, and Jigba drops it in the bucket, and he will backpedal for a touchdown. What a throw. What a catch.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, again, former Ohio State receiver, goes back to Brian Hartline, Pops. Epic coach doing his thing down there at Ohio State, making it happen. But, Jackson Smith and Jigba actually is now the single season record holder for receiving yards for the Seattle Seahawks. It's amazing to see how well he's done. And it's not like you can say it's because of the heavy amount of games or extra games they have. No, he's done this in 11 games where he is now the single season record holder for receiving yards, franchise record for the Seattle Seahawks. Quite impressive. Quite impressive for the young man. The sky's the limit because he continues to make awesome plays. Had an awesome game against the Titans, and he just continues to make plays. Very, very awesome to see. Then we have also that happened for our Cowboys. Dak Prescott became the all-time passing yards leader for the Cowboys, which is awesome to see. So, I mean, a good amount of records being broken, and there's more that are going to be on the way. But he is now the all-time passing yards leader for the Cowboys, which is something I wouldn't have thought would have happened, but it did. And so, congratulations to Dak Prescott taking the franchise lead, and hopefully, this is more plays that are going to be made, not just with him becoming a franchise leader in passing yards. Hopefully, he'll be able to add more and more and more yards, maybe even playoffs, maybe a Super Bowl or things of that nature. Because what we don't want to do is have him continuously, getting stats and nothing to show for it. So just saying. Pops, tell me what you think.
Well, they told him about that record during the game, and he said he didn't have time to even consider that record. I think they had it up on the school board or wherever, and they was showing it. And he said, "Hey, I appreciate that's fine, but I need to go ahead and win this game because a lot of the players were looking up and they saw it. But hopefully, because he had reacted like that, it shows me that he has more attention on trying to win a playoff game or going to an NFC championship game and winning the whole thing. Because records are made to be broken anyway, but like you just saw, he just broke one. But the main thing is you do all of that and still don't succeed, then that is considered to be, I hate to say it like this, a failure in the eyes of the Dallas Cowboy fans. So hopefully he can go ahead and do what he needs to do, and with the records and all of that, and go ahead and accomplish what we need him to do as a Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
Appreciate that, Pops. And then tell me what you think about, Jackson Smith and Jigba becoming the franchise leader for single season receiving yards.
That goes back to what we said again, like you were talking about the Ohio State offensive coordinator and receivers coach. We had said that because of what's going on, and now this even elevates it even higher, that he'll probably be considered a head coach in the NFL or even for a college team because of the fact that the receivers he's producing and putting out there, and they're in the spotlight. So I'm thinking that all of this with this young man doing and getting the yardage that he has gotten in an early stage, this will propel the coach to probably get a head coaching job, or if nothing else, he'll probably become, I think, one of the best known receiver coaches that's ever been in the college rankings.
Yeah, I agree, Pops. I agree. Now, we got a special guest. He joined us last week on last week's show, and now he's coming back for the second straight appearance. We got Prime, that's from the In the Mix segment of the QOC Network. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you chiming in, Prime. Thank you for
How
joining
about
us, sir.
them Cowboys?
So, Prime, with you joining us, we're going to go back to our discussion about Eagles Cowboys. Give me your thoughts on the game. Why did we win the game, sir?
I think we won the game because of defense. Uh, the defense showed up in the second half and they took control and totally shut down the Eagles offense. They disabled Hurts. They totally disabled Saquon Barkley. They shut him down. So when your front line is doing their job, it makes it easier on everybody. But my thoughts on it, man, I was in ICU for the first half, but I hung in there and they turned it around, man. I'm proud of my boys, man. This was a game that they usually would drop, and they They hung in there and they took care of business, man. I'm proud of them.
And then we were saying that our player of the game is George Pickens. Now, give me your thoughts. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, honest thought, honest opinion. Who's the best receiver out of the two?
Man, right now we're gonna have to go with George Pickens. We're gonna have to, if we're being honest, we're gonna have to, even if CD would have to even say that if we being honest. But ultimately, man, I know that CD can do way better than what he's doing. I want to say that. And I just want to see him get his head back in the game or whatnot. My honest opinion about it, though, I've been saying it in the barbershop since the game. Sometimes you can be the big dog on your team, but when another big dog comes, it kind of can rattle the other big dog's confidence and causes him to kind of be out balance. And that's what I think is going on. I think CD and Pickens they cool with each other. They got really good chemistry as far as not hating on each other, being good teammates. But I think CD got a little rattled, in my opinion, of what Pickens has become in Dallas. Yeah,
I can agree with that. Now, my man Brandon chimed in earlier saying he stopped doing no Old Spice commercial. See, he chimed in again. Old Spice. See, yeah.
might be.
I mean, and the thing is, and I agree with you. You brought up a good point where it could rattle a person where they're like, "Man, this dude's making plays," and now you're feeling some type of way about trying to force and make plays on your own. Well, these are not like errant passes or where you can't catch them. They're right there.
Yeah,
so you can say, "Hey,
Dad,
throw it here."
Yeah.
No, it's right here. It's where it's supposed to be. You got to come up with the ball. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the show, CD has said he's got to catch the bleeping ball. Well, you're right. Do it. Because at the end of the day, while we have been able to come out with wins with George Pickens doing his thing, we will need CD Lamb to make plays for sure. Because it's going to come down to him making that third down possession catch for the first down, or making those big plays to either keep a drive going or to kill the clock to seal the win. You know what I mean? So he's got to get it done at some point for sure. So my hope is that he rectifies this whole thing, whatever's going on, that he actually makes these plays that are right there for him to make and get it done.
I would say this. Considering all of what we just said, with even in the Eagles game, with the drop balls, with the fumbles, with the penalties and all of that, I'm thinking like, man, what are we gonna look like if we can win like that? What are we gonna look like if we clicking on all cylinders? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not out here being one of those Cowboy fans saying Super Bowl or nothing like that. But what I will say is, if we're clicking on all cylinders, you can't tell me this is not a championship contending team. You can't tell me, because if you can win against the Super Bowl champs, 21-0, you spotted them. You come back, you totally shut them down. You know what I'm saying? And you win the game. With all of those mistakes, you can't tell me that this team is not better than what they're showing.
Agreed. Now, Quincy Wells chimed in. Pickens, the new number one, CD just needs to get his mind right. He should be okay. Agreed. Yeah. Get your mind right, CD. Get your head in the game. Let's get it done, because we're going to need you to make some of these catches. As I said, we're going to need you to get it done for sure, because Pickens can't do it all.
Right.
Now, let's see here. Queen, the conversation has a comment. The Browns prediction from the last show on point. Well, not quite. It wasn't as high scoring a game. Pops was more on point with his. He was very close with the score. He said 27-24, but he did get it right in regards to the ending of the game, saying Brandon Aubrey would kick the game-winning field goal. So again, well done, Pops. Got another comment from Brandon. CD will be fine, because you can't think that he will just be milk toast on any given Sunday. And we got Flournoy and Spanford too. True. And Spanford had a touchdown pass. You know what I mean? He came up clutch as well. And he's an unsung hero, honestly, with how he blocks and things of that nature. Hey, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Span Ford. He's one of those guys that does a lot of the dirty work with his blocking, and it paid off with him being able to get a touchdown, which is part of that epic comeback we had this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Now we're gonna move on to a little bit more NFL news and notes. Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders gets his first win in his first NFL start. He's the first Browns QB to do that since 1995.
Hmm.
1995, y'all.
That's
It's a
crazy.
long time ago.
That's a long time.
So, along with that, I'm gonna get your thoughts on Shador as well, guys. But Myles Garrett, salute to you, my guy. Myles Garrett is a monster. A monster. This guy has 18 sacks right now. 18 sacks.
Yeah.
The record is 22 and a half.
Yeah.
He got 6 games left to play. This dude had 3 sacks in a game against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Cleveland Browns as a team had 10 sacks against the Raiders this past Sunday,
That's crazy.
which inevitably meant the end of Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
But again, salute to Myles Garrett, my guy. You are a beast. I really do hope you get the record. And listen, man, I'm needing to see you get the legitimate sacks for sure. I don't want to see the record being broken like Michael Strahan did when Brett Favre just laid down. We don't want to see that. I want to see you legitimately get the record, my man. So pulling for you to get that. I mean, you know the Cleveland Browns aren't going anywhere, but I'm pulling for him to get that done. Pops, tell me what you think about Shador Sanders and how he performed, and what do you think he's going to do in his next start?
Well, I think he did well compared to the fact that a lot of people, he said himself that a lot of people expected him to fail. And I don't know if that's because he's Sanders' son or what it is, but I guess when he first came out there, I think he was in a relief job, and he was actually, I guess, could you say, failing a little bit or whatever, forcing everything out there. But my thing about it is this: is that if you give him enough time and you give him the right setting, as they say, as he showed us this past game, that he could actually be the leader of that team. But he said one thing: people were expecting him to fail. It's not going to happen. So that's my point on him. But I want to say one other thing that Myles Garrett, I saw him. It's been a while, been a minute. Play for Arlington Morton High School against DeSoto High School, and
Mm.
and then also I saw him leave there and go to Texas A&M. And this young man has done this all through his career, and that's why he is who he is. And I think he will succeed and break Michael Strahan's record.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ron?
Yeah, I totally agree with Pops. He's he's going to do it. We know it. He's right there on it. He's on the cusp. Great, great talent, superstar talent. You can't say enough about Myles Garrett. Like I said, I mean he's a monster, man. You know what I'm saying? I love what he's doing, and I wish him success in his ongoing career. But when it comes to Shador, man, he's a dog. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you like this. I feel like Shador's a dog, and the reason why I say that, not just because of what he do on the field, but because how he is taking adversity. He could really be in his feelings. He could really let that stuff mess with him and the media, the way that they've been treating him on the team and whatnot, and causes him to not make those plays that he made last game. But he stepped up, man. And I like that about him, man. I really like the class act that he is. And I wish him success as well. He showed out. He showed out, man. And I just wish that he continues to do this, improve people, whoever hating on him, prove him wrong, man. Prove him wrong. Because you cut from that cloth of Dion that proves people wrong. So do it, man. Do it. I'm all in that boy's corner, and I wish him all the success that he could ever have, man. Really.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. So we'll see how he does. He's going to get his second start coming up against the San Francisco 49ers. So we'll see how that goes. But rooting for you, Shador, rooting for you, my man.
Yeah,
Got
man.
another comment from Brandon. The Browns deserve what they get. they could be 6-5 at least if they start Shador. But nah, they start 40-year-old Flacco, who is 2005 Alex Smith. Agreed. Agreed. And the thing is that, you would hope that they would, and before I say anything else, there's this thing that has been continuously being said about how Kevin Stefanski does not want Shador Sanders to succeed, is not, rooting for him, and he was more so the Andrew Berry pick, the GM's pick, compared to being a pick other head coach. That they weren't on the same page with that. So he's not rooting for Shador. He's not giving him as much attention as he has done with Dylan Gabriel and the others. So that we'll see how it goes. It would be unfortunate if that is the case, because again, it was being said that Shador Sanders was going to be a first round pick when it all was said and done. Wound up being a fifth round pick, highly touted fifth round pick I've ever seen. You know what I mean, as far as the draft is concerned. And he has a talent, as we can clearly see. He's shown flashes. And it's about the matter of, okay, well, if you're treating Dylan Gabriel this way, well, you should give Shador Sanders the same exact treatment. Make sure he's prepped and all those good things. Because, apparently, we heard him say, Shador Sanders, that he only had a week of prep. Well, I mean, that's not cool. I mean, at the end of the day, Dylan Gabriel wouldn't have done that way.
That's not cool.
So you should give Shador Sanders the same attention and set him up to succeed. So I'm not saying, but I'm saying. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes in his next start. Again, he's going up against the 49ers. We'll see how it goes. Next up, we're going to talk about, apologies, we got another comment from Brandon. You're not rooting for Shador, but not preparing Dylan Gabriel. Bruh, coach is garbage. No, relax, Brandon. Kevin Stefanski is not garbage. He's a hell of a coach. I will give him that. I'll give him that. But the way he's handled this situation with these quarterbacks, that's garbage for sure. I will say that.
That's not all him. I don't believe that's all him, because the owner even said after the draft that that wasn't his intentions either of having Shador on the team as well. So I don't think it's all the coach. I think it's a conspiring matter between the coach and the upper the owner. You know what I'm saying? The coach and the owner. This is something else. This is nuts. This is something that we've never seen before. We've never seen this type of thing before. It's definitely got some. It's definitely fishy, man. It's definitely fishy.
Josh?
Well, like he said, the main comment I still put out there is he said that people want to see him fail, and I'll leave it at that. And I saw that he did do a good job as a starting quarterback. But my thing about it is who wants him to fail and why. And I know we kind of know why, but anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Right.
All right, gentlemen, we're gonna move on to the topic of the day. The game coming up tomorrow. Chiefs Cowboys, gentlemen. Chiefs Cowboys. So, give y'all some pieces of information real quick before Brandon chimes in with his injury stuff. I want you chiming in first, Brandon. So I will tell you, Tyler Guyton will not be playing. He's out. Nate Thomas more than likely will be starting in his place. And then the only other injury that we had of significance was Kalen Carson. He's questionable to play tomorrow, which is one of our cornerbacks. But yes, Tyler Guyton is out, which I don't know if that's a bad thing, because he had a few penalties. He had a few penalties his last game. Nate Thomas held his own. So we're going to look at that. We're going to see how that goes. Pops, you and I have had the discussion about the line. You know how I feel about it. So, again, we're going to see how that plays out. So, again, Tyler Guyton is out. Nate Thomas will more than likely start in his place. Also, for the Chiefs, Noah Gray, one of their tight ends, who's a heck of a player. He's been making plays. He made some plays when they played against the Colts this past Sunday for the Chiefs. He's going to be out. And then one of the starting guards, Trey Smith, is also going to be out. So two significant injuries for the Chiefs, going to be without two of their better players. So again, Noah Gray is out, tight end for them, and Trey Smith.
Hey, why am I saying Patrick Mahomes? Why am I saying Patrick Mahomes on this list? for growing.
Oh wait, yeah, it's okay. He'll be okay. Yeah, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. Don't you start that, Prom. You relax now.
Well, I'm just going off the list.
You relax, my man.
I'm going
all
out.
right, so gentlemen.
Hey, we need everything. I want everything.
This is true. This is true. So, Pops, I'm gonna start with you first. How do we win this game?
You can actually start with the second half of the Philadelphia Eagles game where the defense did what they did to Jalen Hurts. If they play like that, I don't care who's playing quarterback or whatever for the Chiefs. That's how we're going to stop them because of the fact that I think we're feeling our own self to the point to where we think we can do better than we've been doing in the past. And if we continue to play like that, rush and do as we've done with the new people we've got, that right there tells me we can win this game. And so I'll say this to everybody else. They say, well, Dallas has done this before, so we think they're going to possibly fail. But now I think it's a little bit more than this, like Prime said. I believe we're starting to believe in our own self now. So that's how I think we'll stop them.
All right. Prime?
Man, I'm just like Pops. We got to do what we did last week. If we stay consistent on how we crowded Jalen Hurts, if we do the same thing with Mahomes, I just don't see what he can do with us at that point. You know what I'm saying? If pound that, run that ball, hit. You know what I'm saying? You got your weapons on. I mean, offense is impeccable, but the defense just continue to do what you did last week. I don't feel like we need to change up anything. You got a rushing quarterback, just like we had one last week. You know what I'm saying? So just continue to do the same things. And, I think we could come out on top. I really do.
Appreciate that, Prime. And we got another comment from Brandon. Said the Cowboys need to watch the Super Bowl game film and see how the Eagles defense dominated Mahomes. Don't let them get comfortable in the pocket. Completely agree. Took the words right out of my mouth. Brandon, appreciate the comment, brother. But yes, agreed. We definitely need to make sure that we stop Mahomes and take a page from the Eagles. And as both you have said, gentlemen, Prime and Pops, do exactly what we did second half against the Eagles. The adjustments they made in ensuring that pressure was put on Jalen Hurts, that he was not able to scramble around and do like he did against us game one of this season. They kept the pocket controlled, kept pressure on him, which was amazing to see. Now, real quick before I get into any more of this, who would you guys guess has the most sacks, Cowboys or Chiefs, right now? Pops?
I probably would say I'm gonna be kind of crazy with it. I'm gonna say the Cowboys.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah, I'm going with the home team, man. I'm going with the home team.
Okay, yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Both of you guys are right. So the Cowboys have more sacks, have more team sacks than the Chiefs do. So it's 25-22. Now, as you've seen, both of these defenses, we probably wouldn't have guessed that would have been the case. But that is definitely the case right now, that the Cowboys have more sacks than the Chiefs. And I think that's going to probably improve with having Quentin Williams in his lineup. Again, the difference this guy makes is amazing to see. It truly is how much of an impact he's been having. And I think he's going to be a key reason of why we win this game for sure. Making plays as he did against the Eagles this past Sunday. And after saying all that, who do we need to stop, gentlemen?
Mahomes.
Exactly.
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is who we need to stop, indeed. So we definitely need to stop that gentleman from doing anything. We do not want him doing what he did against the Colts at all. We want to make sure that we make all the plays we can to prevent him from having Mahomes magic. We do not want that whatsoever. So, yes, that's what we need to stop is Patrick Mahomes. Completely agree. Now,
I think we got that. I think we got that, though. I think we can do it.
All right. Now it's coming down to the nitty-gritty now. Score predictions. Prime, you're first, sir.
24-14.
Cowboys or Chiefs?
Cowboys, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, before you go, Pops. Quincy Wells just chimed in. We got to do it from the jump, and don't let Mahomes get going. Absolutely agree, my man. Appreciate you chiming in. All right,
Yeah.
Pops, score prediction, sir.
I have it. This is gonna shock you guys. The Chiefs are favored by 3, but I have it. Dallas 28, the Chiefs 17.
Okay. I am going to say 30-17.
30
Cowboys.
to 17.
30-17. Cowboys win, and they dominate the game. I think that having the second half that they did against the Eagles is going to truly give them the confidence they need to get this done. I think Trey Smith being out for the Chiefs is going to be a big deal. I really think, based on what I saw, the Cowboys do against the Eagles, I really think that they're going to do as much, if not more, to the Chiefs' offensive line. That's what
Now,
I believe. So,
now this the
yeah,
question though. It's the question. What is KC doing in the Russian column? Like, what are they doing as far as running that ball? I don't know that stat. I'm trying to find it.
you got another
Not that
comment
good.
from Brandon. Now with our secondary, do you blitz Mahomes? Because he will get the ball out quick. I honestly, Brandon, I appreciate the comment. I don't think you need to blitz him at all. I don't think you blitz him. I think we can get pressure with our front four. I think we can get that. And we got a comment from QOC Network. Don't be taking these predictions and buying numbers. Yo.
Sound like a hater. Sound like a hater.
But no, Brandon, again, thanks so much for the comment. I really think that we can get pressure with our front four. Now, would I be saying that early on? No, because we were getting zero pressures on the quarterback. But having a Quentin Williams, makes things a lot easier for everyone else to get pressure on the QB. So I think with them going to the 4-man and 5-man lines, they will be able to get pressure on the QB without blitzing. And I think it would be a mistake to blitz him for sure, because we know Mahomes does a lot of damage against the teams that do blitz him. So we want to stay away from that. And it seems from what I've seen and what the Eagles were able to show, as you mentioned earlier with the comment about the mimicking what the Eagles did in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. That's what they did. The Eagles rushed forward and played coverage in the back end, and they got pressure with their D line. So I think that's exactly what we need to do. And again, we wouldn't have been able to say that before the Quentin Williams trade, but
Right.
now we have that ability to get pressure with our front four. So I think that's what we're going to do. No need to blitz at all. Maybe throw in here and there, but it's really no need, as we've been able to get that pressure. As we showed second half of last week's game, we're able to get pressure with our front four. You got that stat, Prime, about the
Yeah, man.
Chiefs with the running game?
I'm actually looking at Kareem Hunt. He's averaging 3.9 per carry, yards per carry. Pacheco is averaging 4.2 yards per carry, and Mahomes himself is averaging 6.1 yards per carry. So last game, they was run heavy. They was run heavy last game. So I think, yeah, we definitely gonna watch out for with the pass rush, but we also have to watch out for their ground game. I think, and because those guys are not slouches in that area, we not gonna play like they slouches or anything like that. But I think overall we're good in both of those areas, from the pass rush to the stopping the run. So I just think we just make sure that we don't let nothing outside of our guard. You know what I'm saying? Don't take anything for granted, and handle business up front. I think we can do this, man. I
Can
really
I
do.
say this?
Yeah.
Can I say the papers? Just one little small thing. I think our safeties need to be prepared too, because they love to go deep.
Yeah.
And we don't need to let anything get behind them, because I know last week we saw them do this. So that's my comment on that part.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then another comment from Brandon: Quentin Williams will be the stopgap on the run. Agreed. And then I will also add to that, Isaiah Pacheco will be playing in this game. He's been out for a few games for the Chiefs. he will be playing. He will be returning against us for the Chiefs on tomorrow. So something to look out for because he's been out injured. So we're going to move on to some college ball. We're going to talk about Texas A&M, Texas A&M, and Texas, y'all. So it's a big game. It's a big game when it comes down to it because look, with Texas A&M, they need to win for sure to make sure they can secure a spot in the playoff. Texas also needs to win if they have any hopes of getting into the college football playoff. So, we'll see how it goes. This game is going to be at Texas, so just something to keep in mind. Arch Manning's been up and down throughout the season, so we'll see how that goes. Texas A&M had a cupcake game against Sanford, I believe, and dominated. So they're coming in, confidence high. And it's been a while since Texas A&M has played Texas, so rivalry renewed. So we'll see how it goes. Pops, give me your thoughts on Texas A&M, Texas, sir. How do you think it's going to play out?
I don't know if I'm kind of kidding around with my main man. I took a picture with those Stark last week, week before last, the Texas coach, and I actually think that Texas has to win this game because as your quarterback, as we say, was the number one man at the beginning of the season. He has to prove that he is who they think he is, and Texas has to do this. I even think the more let's keep their fan base, because if they let A&M beat them, and we all know how that rivalry is, this game here means a lot to Texas more than it does A&M. And so I think Texas has to win it in order to get back in the shall I say the bowl picture, as you all call it, the championship series. So I think they'll do that, and I had thought of that before now. But because of the fact that A&M is doing what they're doing, and it's such a rivalry game as at Texas, I'm going to give it to the Longhorns.
All right, Prime.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, Pops told me that the other day, and he kind of shocked me when he told me about that that Texas prediction. But the crazy part about this thing is Manning is, you don't know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? He could come in and he could fumble the game, or he can come in and be the hero. I'm not big on college, just being honest, but listening to my son is a big Texas A&M fan, and I hope I kind of want Texas A&M to take this thing too. But if Manning steps up and he does what he can do, it could be a troublesome game for Texas A&M. But I don't know. You just don't know what you're gonna get out of Manning, man. You just don't.
Right.
Understood. Now, for me, and we got a comment from Quincy. I'm going with anybody from Texas that has a chance at the championship. Agreed. Nothing wrong with that. Yep. Understood. Appreciate you chiming in, my man. For me, as I said, I'm going with Texas. I think they're gonna pull it out. I really want to see chaos ensue with the college football playoff. I really want to see how it's gonna go. So that's what I'm really rooting for, is to see chaos occur. Just beating a team that is a shoe-in for the college football playoff. I just want to see that chaos ensue. So I'm pulling for Texas just for that reason alone. And then now, gentlemen, for our question of the day. Hopefully y'all ready for this. Since we are getting into Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Prime, I'm gonna start with you. What are your top 3 Thanksgiving foods, sir?
Man, we're gonna go with the turkey and dressing. Is that 1 or 2? What we're gonna do? We're gonna mash that together, or we're gonna say that's 1? We're gonna say that's 2.
You gotta say it's 1. No, that's 2. It's 2. It's 2.
Okay, you got turkey and dressing. I can do turkey and dressing and sweet potatoes all day. I don't have to have nothing else. I can do that all day.
I got you. Pops, your top 3 Thanksgiving foods.
The smoked turkey is that's what we said, that's 2, right?
No, you just said smoked turkey. That's 1 for right now.
Okay. Well, I'll go with the red beans and ground meat, and then I'm gonna throw in one more food in there, and to me it's key lime pie.
It doesn't really count, Pops, but it's okay. I'll take that.
Well, I think we have to eat it. All right. Okay.
Now for me, oh yeah, QOC Network chiming in said, "What about pecan pie?" I'm not a
No.
fan. I'm not a fan, but
Get that out of there.
Whoa,
yeah, I
whoa.
know, right? I know, right? Now for me, my top 3 Thanksgiving foods are smoked turkey, dressing, and mashed potato. That's for me. You know, I want those all day when it comes to Thanksgiving food. No doubt about that, for sure. And
Hey,
y'all,
Pops,
that
one
is
more
gonna
thing.
do it for us. Yeah, go
One
ahead, go
more
ahead,
thing.
go
Yeah, I
ahead.
got one more thing. Say, Pops,
Yo,
just ask, is mom gonna have that is she gonna have that pound cake, man?
I'll be working on it now.
That's all right. I'm gonna come through and burglarize the pound cake.
Got you. Got you. All right. All right.
You know, we got Quincy chime in with another comment saying dressing, greens, and turkey. Okay, my man, I respect it. Forgot
Okay.
about greens. That was a good call on the greens,
Yeah,
man.
you're right. That's right.
But
Yeah.
Already.
yeah, that's a good call. It's a good call, Quincy. Appreciate you chiming in. But y'all, that is gonna do it for us for another episode of the Wild Sports Show. We thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all so much for the love. Thank y'all so much for the support. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Please do that. We appreciate it. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. It's gonna be celebrating tomorrow. Enjoy it. Enjoy it with the fam. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the fun. All those good things. Appreciate that. Quincy, thanks for the love, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for chiming in. Again, thank y'all so much. Be sure to like, share it, and subscribe. And we'll be seeing y'all next Wednesday at the same time at 6 o'clock. Peace out, y'all.
Happy
Peace out.
Thanksgiving.
Man, happy